For decades, this waterway, the Strait of Hormuz, survived wars, revolutions, sanctions, assassinations. Empires rose, governments fell, but the system that kept it open enough effectively ended at a precise moment, 1:15 a.m. Eastern, February 28th. That's when U.S. Central Command says Operation Epic Fury began. And here's the twist. Not by enemies, by allies. A U.S. partner strike campaign detonates, and suddenly the world's most critical choke point is staring down a de facto shutdown, with 1/5 of global oil moving through this corridor. Now, Washington's response isn't just missiles, it's industrial, because while Iran fights back, Trump moves to ramp up weapons production, potentially even using the Defense Production Act to force priority manufacturing. In the next 12 minutes, you will see the private warning that triggered this, the leaked budget plan that proves the pivot, the market reaction nobody expected, and why this could change your economy. This crisis didn't begin with a press conference. It began with a private warning, the kind presidents get when the cameras are off. NBC reports the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Kane, privately raised concerns that U.S. air defense stockpiles were lower after recent defenses and that a sustained defense against Iran could put the U.S. at risk. And then the demands started. Demand 1. Speed. The White House pushes defense firms to build faster because the operation is burning through munitions at scale. Demand 2. Prioritize the war over Wall Street. Reuters reports the administration has been ratcheting pressure on contractors to prioritize production over shareholder payouts, backed by an executive order targeting underperforming contractors. Demand 3. The breaking point. War powers for factories. NBC reports officials discussed invoking the Defense Production Act, a legal tool that can force companies to prioritize government orders. And if you want the mood inside Washington, NBC quotes an official saying the public emotions required to turn factories into war factories aren't there yet. Then comes the diplomatic silence. Then the realization, this isn't a short strike. This is a consumption war. And what happened next shocked Washington. We're not doing vibes. We do evidence here. Receipt 1, the leaked plan. Reuters reports the White House planned a meeting with top defense contractors, Lockheed Martin, RTX, others, explicitly to accelerate weapons production after strikes depleted stockpiles. And Reuters adds something even bigger, a Pentagon-led effort on a supplemental budget request of around $50 billion to replace weapons used in recent conflicts. That's not a talking point. That's a mobilization signal. Receipt 2. The market reaction. Money doesn't lie. As Hormuz traffic drops and insurers pull back, oil reacts. Al Jazeera reports oil moved above $79.40 per barrel after trading near $73 just days earlier. Kay Peeler calls it what it is, not a formal blockade, yet, but a de facto closure driven by commercial withdrawal and insurance realities. Receipt 3. The public meltdown. Trump posts that the U.S. has a virtually unlimited supply of munitions and that wars can be fought forever. Reuters quotes that claim directly. The White House simultaneously insists stockpiles are sufficient while also summoning defense CEOs to ramp production quickly. And Iran's message to the world is blunt. A Revolutionary Guard commander says the strait is closed and any vessel attempting passage would be set ablaze. That's not opinion. That's math with a fuse. This conflict isn't just military. It's psychological. The U.S. model is dominance through credibility, alliances, supply chains, deterrence. Iran's model is survival through pressure, raise costs, fracture coalitions, punish neighbors. And Trump's governing style adds another layer. Threats versus alliances, speed versus trust, short-term leverage versus long-term credibility. Here's the doom loop. Strikes escalate. Iran can't beat the U.S. conventionally, so it targets the economy. Hormuz risk spikes oil. Rising costs hit voters and markets. Washington responds by surging production and widening operations. Iran doubles down. Kay Peeler's analysis spells out the logic. Iran can't win militarily, but it can inflict economic pain via oil prices and consumer confidence. That's the trap. You don't have to sink a carrier. You just have to make the world too expensive to govern. Now let's talk about you, your car prices. Oil isn't just gasoline, it's shipping. Plastics, tires, fertilizer, packaging. When Hormuz risk raises crude, everything downstream gets a surcharge. Simple math. If oil jumps $10–20 a barrel, transportation costs ripple into retail, slowly, then suddenly. Your retirement funds, energy shocks reprice risk, and when markets can't model the strait, they sell first and ask questions later. Your national security. Reuters reports a hard production constraint, only about 600 PACE-3 Patriot interceptors produced yearly, already insufficient to cover U.S. needs and allies, let alone Ukraine. That means one war can starve another, and every theater becomes a bidding war for the same missiles. Your country's reputation. CENTCOM calls Epic Fury the largest regional concentration of American military firepower in a generation. But reputation isn't just power, it's reliability. If allies think U.S. arsenals are stretched, they hedge. Quietly. Rationally. Here's the brutal contrast. The failed American project. The post-Cold War assumption that the U.S. could police global arteries with just-in-time stockpiles, while factories ran on peacetime logic. NBC reports Congress and the administration are now openly discussing industrial emergency tools like the Defense Production Act. The new alliance replacing it. Not a treaty signed in gold ink. A supply alliance built on whoever can ship energy and weapons when the world panics. Kapler warns the conflict improves Russia's competitive position in crude markets, creating incentives for India and China to deepen reliance on Russian supply if Gulf flows tighten. So the verdict is simple. When choke points close, factories become foreign policy. Steel beats slogans. Every time. This isn't a chess match. It's a refinery fire in a dry season. You don't control where the smoke goes. You only learn too late what depended on clean air. So here's the question, and I want you to answer it in the comments. Does ramping up U.S. weapons production deter a wider war or lock America into one? If you want more evidence-driven geopolitical breakdowns, subscribe. Because the next move could happen tomorrow.